Joining us today on MSUEagles.com is probably a familiar face and a familiar name for a lot of Morehead State football fans. It's Wes McDermott, a former Eagles standout at linebacker from 2006 to 2009, and he has returned to his alma mater as an assistant football coach. And Wes, congratulations on the new position. We're excited that you're returning to Morehead State in the football program here. Before we get into your college playing days, let's kind of rewind and tell us more about your childhood. You grew up in Louisville and attended Holy Cross High School. Just when did you first get involved with the sport, and take us through those high school years, if you would.
I first got involved with football, and like most kids, just third grade, and it kind of just grew from there, the passion, and then just, you start to stand out, and, people take notice, and then a lot of my buddies we got together and we went to Holy Cross, we played football, and it was a great school there, a little Catholic school. I went to Catholic school all from first grade through 12th, so it was a good atmosphere. It had some great coaches and great teachers, and it was a good place, right near home where I was at, and I enjoyed it.
Tell us a little bit about your recruitment as a student athlete. You come to Morehead State. You had an outstanding career. We'll talk about that more here in a moment, but what originally attracted you to MSU, and what was the decisive factor in getting you here as a student athlete?
I had a couple cousins come here before me, and I always heard them talk about it. And one of my cousins played football here, and just my senior year, they got in contact with me and showed me the different, just brought me in on a tour during the spring, showed me the facilities, and the coaches just really sold this university, and I believed in what they were teaching, what they were striving to do, and I just felt like it was a great fit for me, which turned out to be, and I just really could see myself here, and I'm glad I did because it was a great time.
Wes McDermott, one of the new assistant football coaches here at Morehead State, with us today on MSUEagles.com. And Wes, from a statistical standpoint, your name is etched in the record books, and you're certainly one of the better defenders of all time here at Morehead State. 316 career tackles, 48 tackles for loss, and you were a three-time All-PFL selection along with the third-team All-American your senior year. Just as you kind of reflect on your playing days, what comes to mind, and what are some of the memories that'll stick with you for a long time?
The main memory is like my sophomore year. We had a really great team, and like the camaraderie we had just with that team was just outstanding. I mean, our defense was like we led the nation in rush defense, only giving up like 50-something yards a game, and just the guys on that team, really, we bought in, and when when you're winning and you're being successful, it's a lot easier. You have fun, and that's one thing just sticks out more than just the personal aspect of my accomplishments, just the team aspect, because that's what makes it more enjoyable. But obviously, being able to have a successful career over all 4 years was very important to me, just because all the hard work and dedication I put into it.
You had a couple years of professional football after graduation, playing in the Indoor Football League with the La Crosse Spartans up in Wisconsin, Cedar Rapids Titans in Iowa, and the Allen Wranglers down in Texas. Just tell us a little more about the Indoor Football League and your experience there.
Well, the Indoor Football League is very similar to the Arena 1 football, just has a little bit different rules, and they actually run the ball more in Indoor Football League than they do in Arena 1. There's an actual running back, and there's not quite the amount of restrictions on the linebacker as there is in the arena. So that's why I chose to play in the IFL, to try to help me out and just keep moving forward. And I played with some really great players throughout the country. I mean, you travel, you go coast to coast, you meet a lot of great people. One of my coaches was Gilbert Brown, that was the big D tackle for the Green Bay Packers, and so that was pretty cool. And then last year I played with Terrell Owens for about a month or so that was also pretty exciting. But it's just, at the end of the day, I just wanted to get back to regular football, outdoor football, 11-man, just found an opportunity here at Morehead and jumped on it.
Your playing career is obviously pretty impressive on paper. This is your first real coaching position, at least at the collegiate level. Talk about your relationship with head coach Rob Tenure, kind of the discussions you guys had, and kind of what got you back here to MSU in this coaching role.
Well, even though Coach T was always on the offensive side and we were on the defense, we always had a great relationship, because I understood that he always wanted the best out of us, and then I think he understood that being on defense, we were striving always strive to be the best individual, not just the best football player. And I think that's what really he liked about me. You know, we had some conversations here in the last year, stayed in touch some, you know, got to talk to him during homecoming. And then, you know, a couple weeks before I took the job and tried to get the job, we'd had some discussions and we talked, and he really felt that I could be a great, you know, ambassador for Morehead football since I went through the rigors. I know what it takes to be a successful student athlete here. And I like the ideas that he had. You know, what he was selling here is the culture change, the attitude, and I mean, you can really already tell with some of the players that there has been a change in just such a short little time, and it's pretty exciting around the football offices, you know, out there working out, and just excited to get going.
By my calculation, we've got 3 coaches on the staff, including Coach Tenure, who have been here as a coach, and then you and Andrew Doan are former players. We've got some really accomplished coaches outside of those 5 in terms of people who have done great things at other schools, but talk about that connection to the university, to the football program, understanding how things work here in Eastern Kentucky and how that could be an asset to some of the guys who haven't been here at Morehead State previously.
Well, just, you know, it's a little bit different at every school, obviously, and especially this playing in the Pioneer League is a little bit different league. So, you know, having some guys like Andrew Doan, who also coached at Butler, so it gives us great insights on just game planning for all the other teams that he's done. You know, then we have Coach T and Coach St. Louis who've had stints here. Coach T's had a long stint. And when you get to know the area and you know the school, ins and outs of the school, you know how stuff works, it makes things go a lot smoother and a lot easier for, you know, for all of us as a staff.
Tell us a little bit more about your family. I know you have a younger brother, Ronnie, who played here more recently. Just anything else that's noteworthy about your family, and I'm sure you growing up in that football and sports environment.
Yeah, also, Ronnie, he played here, you know, 2 years with me, which was pretty exciting to play with my brother. And then I have another younger brother, Ryan. He went to Louisville, graduated from Louisville. Now he's in some computer tech jobs. And then my parents, you know, they're great parents, supportive. I mean, I've had a lot of support. They traveled to all of our games pretty much in college, no matter where it was. I think they like going out to San Diego a lot because they took their little vacations, it seemed like. But, you know, the family I have in Louisville and parts of Cincinnati is just great because just the support they show me. You know, my aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, it was just from all ends, and, you know, you can't go wrong when you have that much support.
Well, Wes, welcome back. Congratulations on the new position. We look forward to working with you, and we'll check in with you several times before the season begins.
All right, thanks. Glad to be here.
Wes McDermott, a new assistant football coach here at Morehead State, a former Eagle linebacker, now working with defensive backs. We'll have more coaching announcements on MSUEagles.com, so please stay tuned.